Hey guys, the old fat man here. So I wanted to get to my top 10 video thing that I've been doing, but I just didn't get a chance to today. A couple other YouTubers, after my last video I did where I showed off some toys and some Blu-rays, a couple of YouTubers, Horror Gal, Susan, in particular said, hey, was the editor any good? I said, no, I hadn't had a chance. Well, I think in the video I said I hadn't had a chance to watch it. I said when I would, or when I watched it, I would talk to her about it. But I figured, well, I might as well just do a review on it. I haven't done a horror movie review in a while, so that's what I'm doing now. I just got done watching this about an hour ago. This is The Editor. This is a Scream Factory release. It's got this artwork, but you can also reverse it to what was the original artwork. It was a Blu-ray DVD combo. The Blu-ray is actually still in my Blu-ray player. This is a throwback movie to old 70s style Italian horror. At least that's what they're going for here. The movie is about this film editor who had lost his fingers. It's a very strange film. He lost his fingers after he had gotten mad about something, and he's the film cutters. And so he's in this fit of rage. He's cut all of his fingers on one hand off. And so somehow that hinders him from being a good film editor after that. He still does continue to edit films. All these strange... Sorry, that's the cat. He's in the room. All these strange things start happening. People get murdered on the set of the film. Or the current film that they're filming, at least. And then they're trying to figure out who this murderer is. It's a very bizarre movie. There's so many elements to this movie. It's trying to be a 70s. It's trying to pay homage to 70s Italian style horror films, and it definitely does. There's a lot of Argento in there, especially with lighting and the color schemes, like the paint on the walls inside of things. There's a lot. I mean, they're pulling a lot of stuff from Argento here, but it also kind of bleeds over into sort of some 80s, a little bit of 80s cliche stuff in there as well. This is directed by two guys. No one in this except for one actor. He was in the Human Centipede 2. He was the main guy in Human Centipede 2. You'll recognize him in here. He doesn't have a big part, but he's the only recognizable actor. Actually, no. I think that's about it. There's two, and so this movie is written by two of the actors in the movie and directed by these two actors in the movie. And I went back and looked them up. They only have done like a couple of movies maybe before this. One was a short, and one other one, I can't remember the name of it, but I had never heard of it. This is a very slick styled film. It feels very good overall. At times well, I'll just say this. For a blind buy, I'm not super thrilled. If I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it like 6.5 to 7. I want to lead more towards like 6.5. But what does actually probably give it the 7, giving it that 7 side, is the cinematography and the lighting, and the soundtrack, the music to the movie as well, is all very cool. They use very cool music. The lighting, they hit the lighting dead on. I mean, it's perfect in the film. And the acting, it's supposed to be bad dialogue, of course, and sort of bad acting, but at times it's not good bad dialogue or good bad acting. At times it's really well. At times there's some really over the top performances and some really bizarre scenes in the film. There's a scene involving a big cake and it's a weird scene. You'll see what I'm talking about. Overall, it's pretty good. I'm gonna definitely watch it again and see what I think of it. But really for a low budget film, well, I wouldn't even say it probably had a fairly decent budget, just because of the cinematography, and a few other things that make it feel look dated. Some of the cars, they had a pretty decent budget by the looks of it. And like I said, overall the acting isn't horrible. I mean, it's supposed to be bad. The acting is supposed to be bad. The dialogue's supposed to be bad. And it's really just a funny movie. There's a good amount of gore in it. The kill scenes are pretty cool. But like I said, my only problem with the movie is at times I don't like movies that tend to use the same, like, it takes place in one room or one setting through. It feels like the first half of the film, the movie takes place in like just this little tiny editing room, or in this like backlot type warehouse area, and it's just a small area where they're talking a lot of the time, or it cuts to an apartment room, and it just feels like the first half of the movie kind of drags a little. And there are some unnecessary scenes where it's just like, this is kind of dragging. I think if this had been a little faster paced movie, I think it would have flowed a lot better. I think that's one thing that I think a lot of new time directors, or directors in general, they don't understand the pacing. The pacing of a film is absolutely crucial in a lot of films. So, like I said, overall I would give it probably 6.5 to a 7. I would definitely check it out. Maybe not buy it, because I did a blind buy on this, and this, I have to say, this is the first blind buy I'm a little disappointed about. I'll hang on to it. I think it's a cool film overall, and there are some really funny and some really cool scenes actually in there, and like I said, I really love the music. It's got this, similar to It Follows, it's got this really cool 80s synth, I almost want to say lo-fi sound to it. But yeah, overall it's a good movie. Overall it wasn't bad, but just not, like I said, I bought Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. What else did I buy? I bought Wolf Cop blind buy. I thought there was one other one I bought blind buy that I really liked. Right off the top of my head, I can't think of it. But yeah, that is The Editor, guys. For horror fans and people who love Argento, especially like Suspiria or Opera or any of those, I think you'll like this. It's well done for the most part. I think I would really like. I'd be more excited to see what these guys do next, if they decided to do like another horror film. I think they have a really good grasp on what they're doing, but just haven't perfected their craft yet. So, yeah, guys, go check it out. That is The Editor. This is a Scream Factory release. I don't know if you can buy a cheaper version, which would be just like the Blu-ray. I don't know if that's available or not, but check it out. That's it, guys. Thanks.